Thanks for joining us for another edition of Weekend Winners, proudly brought to you by 1Equine for the equine athlete. We go back to Albion Park on Saturday night. No features unlike last week. The Q-Bred Breeders' Classics were the features last week, and it was the Turpin-McMullen Show. In fact, it's been the Turpin-McMullen Show over the past week at Albion Park. We've got 10 races on Saturday night. We start at 5:07. Again, it's very even, well-balanced program, so we're looking forward to a few races there on this card. In just a moment, we'll speak with Shane Graham and Layne Dwyer. Both have got some really good drives. I'll be keen to get their thoughts, so they won't be too far away. Shane Graham joins us to go through his runners on Saturday night, and he's in the hot seat as we speak. Shane, appreciate the time.
No worries, Chris.
We start with a really strong race, the Band 4, Band 2 races. These races of late have been excellent, and this race is going to be a ripper again on Saturday night. Mossdale Terry's been so consistent. Big miles at his past too, chasing home Whisperer Secret. 50-9, 50-7 last week. You must be thrilled with the way he's going.
Yeah, look, he's going great. You know, like the last 2 weeks, he's run PVs each time and still can't win it. So it just shows how good the winner is going. You know, so yeah, he's been improving, but yeah, just got to keep improving, I guess.
All right. Last week, barrier 1. This week, you've got barrier 8, the inside of the second row. It is a mile, so it's probably not the worst spot to be.
Oh, no, you know, like at Albion, anywhere on the fence, generally over the mile is a good spot. You know, the horse we're following out, it's racing probably in its career best. So, you know, at worst will be 3 fence. And, yeah, if we have any luck, he should be thereabouts again. All
right. When you peruse that front line, are you expecting a bit of power early?
Yeah, generally over the mile there is, so you know, there should be a few go forward horses, but you know, I think the one, he's got the speed to yeah, he'll decide who he'll want to let go, I'd say.
All right, so you've chased home Whisperer Secret, he's passed 2 starts. Now you've got his stablemate RD's Flash. Does he look like the hardest to beat on paper?
Yeah, I'd say so. You know, like I think the whole way along those two, there sort of hasn't been much between them, but I think just this time in, Whisperer Secret's probably, you know, he looks to be going a shade of better, but yeah, he's probably obviously one of the dangers.
All right, we're getting closer to the Constellations Carnival. Is there a race that you're looking at with Mossdale Terry?
Oh, look, he's, you know, we wouldn't mind sort of getting him into a stand race, and they said his stand form was good in New Zealand, so we sort of wouldn't mind that, and maybe looking at Redcliffe, but the Redcliffe Cup, but Fleet Fame goes there, it's probably, you know, going to be a hard one. So, yeah, look, we'll just see how he progresses and where we go with him.
Righto, that's Mossdale Terry. Race 2, you've got Glover. Again, he's drawn the inside of the second row. But this is not a bad draw for him in this race.
No, it's not. It, you know, numerically looks, his form's not that good, but he has been going quite well. Last week probably was a bad drive on my behalf, so you know, from the inside, the second line there, I think he'll get a good run through, and you know, I'd be thinking he'd be in the top 3 or 4.
All right, So Serious is the horse you follow out. Do you expect him to lead?
Yeah, look, he's very high speed, and you know, I don't think he's really had a good draw since he's been up here, so I would think they'd be making the most of it.
Okay, just looking at this race as well, they should generate tempo, which is going to help you.
Yeah, that's right. You know, yeah, there should be, you know, like all mile racing there, you know, there'll be some spice in it at some stage.
Righto, race 3, you're down to drive Bronski Zulu. He's on the back up from Tuesday. Unplaced, he had a tough trip there off a wide draw. He draws gate 2 here on Saturday night. Do you plan to let him roll early here?
Look, I'll have to see what the connections want to do, but he generally is a go-forward horse. He's the same, you know, he's just on that hard mark, and, you know, no race room's very easy, so the draw's definitely a help.
Okay, the class runners are either drawn wide or the second row, so that gives you some sort of chance, and I'm probably going off the fact that he might be able to get to the lead. If he does, you know, he's going to go a bold race.
Yeah, that's right, you know, he's any time he has been in front, he's always, you know, I think he would have probably won or, you know, run a place. So he's definitely performed well in front. So, you know, he's an honest horse, so I'm sure he'll be there.
That NR rating probably underlines him perfectly, and a lot of things become a lot clearer the way you just described it. He's going okay, but because he's on such a hard mark, it is difficult.
Yeah, that's right. You know, he come back on a tough mark after a 2-year-old campaign, and he sort of won a few of those early 3-year-olds, and yeah, he's shot through in a grade that, you know, under the old system you probably wouldn't be getting there till your 4-year-old season. So, you know, it's like he's fast-tracked a year in his career.
All right, race 4, this is the Mares Open. Sister Bliss is on the back up from Tuesday. What are you expecting here from gate 7?
Yeah, look, she, you know, probably shouldn't have been in. I forgot she was OD, so she's got that lifted off her on Tuesday, but because the fields are out, she's out there. So, look, she won't disgrace herself. She's, you know, I always thought she'd probably get to this grade and, you know, she would be competitive. But just from out there over the short trips, probably going to be a bit tough for her.
All right, we'll wait for another day there. Race 5, you picked up the drive on Carter Grant. You know this horse. He comes up with gate 3. Looks quite even, this race on paper.
Yeah, it does. He, you know, he never puts in a bad run, the little horse, and he's always thereabouts. So, you know, he won't disgrace himself.
You've got Jackawally to your inside. So do you run the arm or float forward and try and stay fairly forward early?
Yeah, I think, you know, from the draw you gotta press forward. You know, you're not gonna Jackawally's high speed, so you're not gonna cross him. But yeah, you've got to make the most of your draw and be up handy.
All right, so he's a top 4 hope.
Yeah, let's hope so.
All right. Race 8, this wraps up the quaddie. It's the Band 5 Mares Pays. Madam Maggie, drawn gate 3. Is she capable of taking this race?
Yeah, look, she is. She, you know, she's an honest mare. Probably last start on the fence, she probably should have run home a little bit better. But, you know, if she can lead or be up there and they sort of run along, she's always trying and that, you know, and never puts a bad foot forward.
Is that the key, though, with Madam Maggie? She's one of those mares that needs to be up on the speed?
Yeah, look, she's got to be on the front, you know, ideally in front or in behind the lead. It's a perfect case for her, you know. But, yeah, as long as she doesn't have to sort of do too much work and get wide in the corners and that, she'll be there.
Okay, so she just lacks that little bit of high acceleration.
Yeah, look, she's sort of probably, you know, she's not a tough mare and she's not a high speed, or she just falls in between there. So, yeah, she needs a little bit, you know, she gets out of the gate good and she can find the front end, she'll always run good races. All
right, you've got Carly Morgan and Magic Moment drawn to your inside, Vindicate Sergio's Rocket directly on your outside, so there's going to be a bit of speed early.
Yeah, that's right, you know, so we'll just have to punch forward and weigh up in the first 100 or 2 where we look like being.
All right, and this 9th race, this is the stand start race. Let me ask this, and I didn't think I would, but Send It and Turn It Up. Send It was awesome last week, probably best performance he's produced here in Queensland. Turn It Up was disappointing last time out. Was this a tough choice in any sort of way, shape or form?
Oh, yes and no. Like, you know, the ideal world, you'd love to split them and, you know, be able to drive them both. But it's sort of the way it is. I always stick with Turn It Up, and Kel always drives Send It when they, you know, clash. So, yeah, that's how we sort of work it.
Just looking back at the replay of Send It last week, he was huge. Like, fast lead time, absorbed all the pressure and still ran it out really strong.
Yeah, that's right. He, you know, he's such a gutsy little horse. He, you know, once he does ever find the front, you know, he, I don't think he's really ever been beaten. You know, he's a hard horse to get past, and he just keeps giving. So, you know, if you had a few more like him, you'd have a real nice team.
All right, and with Turn It Up, what do we expect here on Saturday night? How did he come through that last start run?
Yeah, look, he come through it good. He, you know, probably just sort of burning off the arm, then the mid-race burn and that, it just didn't suit him, you know, and he'd sort of backed up a couple of weeks in a row. So, you know, we've just freshened him, and yeah, he's good and he'll run his usual race.
His stand-start record's impeccable.
Yeah, he is, you know, he can sort of begin, touch wood, the tapes, his steps, you know, like he's coming out of the mobile. Once he's pacing, he can just muster speed quick. So, yeah, the stands definitely suit him.
All right, we've got the Flashing Red, the Redcliffe Cup upcoming. Both of these boys aiming towards those features?
Yeah, that's what we'll go with, you know. We Send It wasn't in the Cup last year, but yeah, we'll go with him, and, you know, it'll be a hard race, but you know, he doesn't let us down. He always puts a, you know, good run in, and he, yeah, I'd love to see him be able to find the front in it.
Righto. So out of all of your drives there on Saturday night, which one are we most looking forward to?
Oh, he's probably, you know, like Mosdale Terry. Hopefully he starts the night off well, and, you know, we get off on the right foot.
We'll take it. Race 1, number 8. Shane, as always, appreciate the time. See you trackside.
No worries. Thanks, Chris.
Young Layne Dwyer jumps in the hot seat to go through his drives, and he's been kind enough to join us. He's with us now. Layne, appreciate the time.
No, thanks for having me, Chris.
You've got a busy night in front of you on Saturday night, and let's start with your first drive, which comes up in the opening race, race 1, number 4, Big Shadow. This is the Band 4, Band 2 race. They're hard races, and they're running big times in these races at the moment.
Yeah, they're awfully hard, but yeah, like you said, the times that they're running just insane. Last week, his runs in parks was just unreal. So, but I'm sure they'll run that time again. So he'll need a bit of luck.
All right. Last week you were chasing the Inform Whisperer Secret, who is low flying. He's gone back-to-back sub 51 miles. Last week 50 and 7, and you had to do your fair share of work. So under the circumstances, you couldn't have asked any more from your guy.
No, he was super. It's just, yeah, it just wasn't really where we wanted to be, sitting outside it, running them times. But I didn't expect him to battle on as well as he did, and yeah, he definitely has a go.
All right, you've got speed to your inside, you've got pace to your outside. Ideally, where would you like to be sitting here with Big Shadow?
Honestly, we'll probably have to go back, but in an ideal world, we'd be either sitting in front or 1-1, but it doesn't look like we'll be getting there this week. But we'll probably just go back and wait for his turn.
All right, this is a step away from free-for-all company. Do you think Big Shadow will eventually get there? He'll reach open company?
Yeah, I reckon he will. He keeps on improving. Like last week was his best run yet, and just hopefully he stays on that track to keep on improving, and I'm sure he'll get there, yeah.
All right, well, that's Big Shadow. That's race 1. Let's go across to race 4. Now, tell me this. Diamond Shoe, she's chasing 3 on the bounce here. Right now, is she your favourite horse, given that she provided you with your first Metro winner recently?
Yeah, she's definitely up there. Yeah, for sure. But, no, she's, I think a lot of her, and I think the best of her is still yet to come.
She was really impressive that night that she won at Albion Park 2 starts ago, coming with a well-timed finish, and then she dominated at Redcliffe, coming up the inside. So the draw on Saturday night, is it potentially a little sticky here, the inside of the second row?
It could go 2 ways, but yeah, I'm sure probably worst case scenario will be 3 fence, but hopefully we're behind later, and if she is, I'll give it a real good hope.
All right, so you want a similar situation to what you got last Friday night here at Redcliffe?
Yeah, exactly. That'd be very ideal.
All right. When you look at this field, this is the Mares Open, so there's some talented types here. How do you think she measures up against some of these mares?
Yeah, it's definitely like a better race than what she's been racing, like better horses, but honestly, I reckon she just keeps stepping up. She hit the line real strong last week, and yeah, from the first time I drove her, I thought very highly of her, but if we can get her to settle, she'll be even better.
All right, so mares in form, you normally stick with them, so that's the case here on the weekend?
Yeah, I'd say so.
All right, well, that's Diamond Shoes. What about in race 5, the next race? You're down to drive Off Your Rocker Crocker. Is he frustrating?
Yeah, he's a very frustrating horse to drive because he sort of spends his time going sideways than he does going forward, but he's got plenty of ability, and well, I was a little bit disappointed with his run last week, but I suppose we just got to sort of turn a blind eye on that because that's what he does do, and yeah, he's sort of a tricky draw once again, but yeah, we just have to see what happens at the start and see where we end up.
All right, how aggressive do you want to be early here with Off Your Rocker Crocker? Because when you look at this race, this is very winnable for him.
Yeah, it is. At his best, he could probably nearly win it, but we've always sort of got to be aggressive with him off the gate. But yeah, honestly, we'll just have to go forward because he's probably doesn't really have 100% of a go in behind. Yeah, and he runs his races a lot better either in front or outside him, so we'll have to be pretty aggressive at the start.
All right. This race, 2,138 metres. Do you prefer him at the middle distance strip, or it doesn't really matter if it's a mile or 2,100?
Honestly, he's more tough than he is fast, so it's probably not a real bad thing. He's pretty tough, but I do
like to see him over the mile again, and especially if he's in front, I'd say he'd be very hard to beat. But 2100, I don't think that's out of his reach either.
All right, now just going back to him and his characteristics, what is it about him once he's out on the track? It looks like he just sort of curls himself up and wants to go sideways, like you said. So what's that all about?
Honestly, I don't know. We've tried everything with him, but the less gear you have on him, the better he is. And he's not dangerous or nothing. He just turns his head and wants to run out, and sort of spends most of his effort going into that. But honestly, if you could get him going straight one day, he'd be a very top horse. But it's just what we've got to deal with at the moment.
That's him by the sound of it. That's just the way he goes. So,
yeah.
All right, well, that's off your rocker crocker. What about in race 8? I think this mare's a chance here. Magic Moment. This is the first time that she's drawn a good gate since being under the stables, the King's Lodge stables umbrella. So with gate 2 here, do you get aggressive early with Magic Moment?
That's what I'm not too sure about yet. I'll have to talk to the trainer, obviously, but if we just relax and just let the race unfold, I'm sure we won't be in a bad spot. But or we could get aggressive early and probably get the lead, because she does have plenty of ability, and she's shown that when she's come up here previously. So she's a very good chance, but we just have to see what happens, I suppose.
All right, she is a proven Albion Park performer, so we know what she's capable of. So if she was able to lead here, it's going to take a good one to run her down.
Yeah, exactly, and I'd say that's what we would be doing, is going forward. And her runs up here haven't been too bad, but it's probably not the best she can go. But definitely, if she really turns up, she'll be very hard to beat.
She hasn't had much luck with barrier draws. So last week, or last start, she had gate 5, then she had a second row draw, and then 4. So it hasn't been easy with draws of late. So if she produces her best, she's well up to winning this race. You're confident with that?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Right. Okay. And she's worked well this week?
Yeah, no, she's been really well. She worked well this morning, and she's feeling good, and that's all we can ask.
All right. Your final drive on Saturday night comes up in race 9. This is the stand start race. Good quality race. Nürburgring. Now, he's going well. His last start was at Redcliffe last Friday night. Hit the line in what was a sprint home. I think that was the race you might have won last week. So, do you give him a chance here?
It's a very hard race, but he's certainly going really well, and he's real good off the stand. So hopefully he can quickly get to the front and just find the right horse to sit on, because he can follow speed really well, and he's proven that before. And he won a race. I reckon they must have went 50 or 51 just sitting on the speed. So he's definitely not out of it, but he's going to need a bit of luck, that's for sure.
Are you confident you'll get him away? Will he step?
Yeah, I think he's pretty safe from what I've seen. So I'm pretty sure we'll be right.
Yeah, all right. He did come out of that race that you won last week with Diamond Shoes at Redcliffe, and he was hitting the line well late.
Yeah. Nathan sort of just drove him real quiet, and he ran to the line real well in the sprint home. So he couldn't be much happy with that.
All right. So you got some good drives there. Just need a little bit of luck. Which one are you most looking forward to?
I'll probably have to say Magic Moments.
Okay, we'll go with her. Race 8, number 2. Layne, as always, appreciate the time, doing a good job, and keep up the good work.
No, thank you. Appreciate it, Chris.
A big thanks, as per normal, to our 2 drivers this week, Shane Graham, Layne, Dwyer. As I mentioned, they've both got some good drives. It'll be interesting to see how they go. Hopefully there's some winners for both there on Saturday night. We've got 10 races. We start at 5:07. We need to find a good thing, and I think right in the middle of the program, first leg of the main tab quaddie, race 5, number 11, back to Batuta. This guy's ready. He's had the 4 runs back. He's not having a great deal of luck with barrier draws and luck in running. But if he gets any sort of breaks here on Saturday night, he can put this field away. Sectionally, he's been really good. Just needs that little bit of luck, but he might be value. He might be each way value, in fact. So race 5, number 11, back to Batuta. We're going to mark him as our best bet on the weekend. If you are gambling this weekend, please do so responsibly. We'll see you at Albion Park trackside Saturday night starting at 5:07.